Hey, what's going on, everybody? How's Monday? How was your weekend? Mine was pretty good. Pretty good. Still waiting for the Steelers to play. They were supposed to play on Thursday, and then it got rescheduled to Sunday, and now it's rescheduled till Tuesday, and they may never play at all. We'll see how it works out. So, right, we're in Train Sim World 2. I don't want to say I have to do this. I sort of have to do this. I don't know. I mean, we're still figuring out where we're at with Livestream. We're still figuring out what works and what doesn't. I know y'all like to farm, and I know like X-Plane, not really, and the trucks are somewhere in between. So we just need to figure out sort of where everybody stands with all the different sims that I like to play, and what's going to work best for you and also for me, because I don't want to do the farm every day. I think sometimes you'd like to see the farm every day. One of the farms, either Farm Sim 17, Farm Sim 19, or Cattle and Crops. I can relate, but I do like to mix it up. So we're going to do that today. Let's start with the 08. And I've got Autumn Mist dialed in for my weather. And then we can pick livery too. Let's take a look at our liveries. What do we got? We got this one. And we got that one. I mean, it's pretty close. What do we lose? We lose the bird. I don't know what this bird represents up here. Looks like a bird with something in its mouth. I don't know. We'll go with that. All right, so we'll continue, and I think we only have we've got a few scenarios. They're all in daylight, but it is autumn, so I guess we can just start at the top. I don't think I've done any of these yet. Probably skip this one because it's dark. So let's start. Thornaby Depot, Tees Yard. Bring the Class 8 locomotive into service. Let's skip that one. I think that's just going to be starting it up and get the brakes set. So we'll go here. Form a train of loaded steel wagons in Tees Yard. Yeah, you got it. All right, here we go. So yeah, we sort of need to test and see if nobody shows up today. I don't know. We'll consider that data. But I do need to find out what works and what doesn't. All right, form a train of loaded steel wagons in Tees Yard using the Class 08. We can do that. A little bit of coffee. All right, let's see what we're working with here. And I don't think there's a time limit on this. So, looking from above. Ah, oh, beautiful. I do like these DLC, like the complexity, the depth of these yards. And it's not, Tees Valley is not a super long route, but it does have these two great big yards and a really nice steelworks. All right, so we need to go pick these up. So let's see what we've got for switches. You want to do these from inside or outside? I'll tell you what, let's confirm that one or more of them need to be set. I don't think any of them need to be set. Yep, these are all set already. Okay, so we'll just head over there. But when and if we do get to a point where any need to be set, maybe we'll hop down and do them. Try to do it a little bit more authentically. All right, and I don't think we need a brake key here. That is forward, so we'll throw that forward. Handbrake is released. Handbrake is released. Turn some lights on. Turn some instrument lights on. Beautiful. Brakes off. Right. Little horn. Here we go. And we may do, I don't know, let's mix it up a little bit. I mean, this is our view. This is our entire view from the Class 08. Really can't see a lot. And, you know, we can... This is one thing I don't like about having... So if we turn the entire HUD off to get rid of this thing, you see that thing in the middle of the screen where when we highlight over something, it gives us that pop-up? I just want to get rid of that. I don't know if there's a way to do that independently. I think we always get that. But if we turn everything off, then we lose everything. And I don't have the skill yet to operate completely without that, particularly if we are first person. Because, I mean, we really can't see how close we're getting to that other set of cars. So we'll leave this on for now. I'll just try to be super careful with it. And what else is going on? I saw... So there's a DLC dropping for Train Sim World. It's a loco for the... not the Northeast Corridor. For Heavy Haul. For the CSX Heavy Haul. The Maryland route. And it's very similar to a loco that's included with base game TSW, well, TSW1 and TSW2. So TSW 2020 and TSW2, it's included with base game. And then there's a DLC is similar to that base game loco, slightly different, and that's often the case. Now I know with Train Sim World, well, it's up to 2021 now. There is a lot of what I would describe as very similar DLC, right? A lot of locos that are sort of incrementally different. I guess rail fans are very much into that. So the fact that they would release a DLC that's so similar to a loco that we already have, I mean, to me that seems maybe less than optimal. But I guess if you're really into this stuff, that's, you know, people do like that. They like having the option of being able to drive those different locos. And maybe, I don't know, think about something like a race sim. Something like Race Room. You know, you can get a lot of very, very... They're not quite the same car. I mean, it's the same car, it's the same model. Might be slightly different year or... You know, so they're very, very similar. And for me, as a car enthusiast, as a race fan, I like having that option. I personally don't get it for locos, but I can respect that some people may want all the different, very subtle variety. But anyway, that just dropped. And what else? There's a little yard loco for the German routes that's available. And what else is going on? I just saw, let's get hooked up here and we'll get these pulled down. And I want to do this with these. Carefully. About there. How close did we get? I'm not going to go third person. I'm going to actually get up, hop out here, and see how close we got. About that far. All right. Hey, if we want to play first person, we need to expect these things. So we'll have a seat here. Brakes off. And let's roll up here. There we are. All right. Hopefully that got it. Swap down here. Maybe. Yep. That got it. All right. We're hooked up. Air is flowing. And now we're going back the other way. I also saw kind of a long post from SCS. And we want to be... Let's take a look up top first. Where we're going. Going over here. You know, for this to work in first person, I really do think they could have some... They could have some people, right? Like maybe somebody walking along the side of the train with a little flag or a lantern or something. I don't know how you do this in real life. I don't know how you would know where to stop. Right? So we're going reverser. Brakes off. Brakes off. Pressure comes down. Here we go. I don't know how you do this in real life if you would have some indication of where it is that you're supposed to stop, because for me, when I play this game, the only way that I know to stop is the top left corner. I just look at the countdown. But other than that, as far as something by the track, right, I don't... Like it says go to... It just says T's Yard. If it said T's Yard, siding 7 west, marker 10. Oh, well, let's make that up. And then we look in here and we can see, in this view, we can see like some indication down here. But I feel like when we go back here, if we turn this off, how are you supposed to know where to stop? So I do like the idea of working without the HUD. I feel like I have very little information without the HUD. So I do leave that part of it on. I turned this part of it off. Because I can assume in the yard, we're never going to be going more than about 10 miles per hour. So, right, what was I talking about? SCS. SCS released a long post. They said Iberia is not going to be ready in 2020. And they're working on some big things for 1.40. A lot of big changes to the lighting. And, you know, that is disappointing, but it's sort of not disappointing. As much as I've been looking forward to Iberia. Okay. You know, the map is big enough in base game now. I'm really not sweating it. I don't feel like I'm missing anything in ETS now, even without pro mods. I don't feel like I'm missing anything. That it's a gigantic map. I just drove back and forth across Scandinavia a couple times, and now we can either drive from Norway down to like France, or if we're on the other side, we can drive from St. Petersburg down to Turkey. That's a big map. It really, really is. So I don't feel like I'm missing out. Like, oh, I'm not going to play the game till Iberia's released. It's not like that at all. So it'll be ready when it's ready, but it's interesting to see the way that SCS communicates and how their fans respond versus other studios and how their fans respond. And there's an art to it. There's definitely a knack to communication, expectation management, all that stuff. I like SCS. I wouldn't say that I'm a fanboy. If a better truck sim dropped tomorrow, I would play it. And if it was better, I'm not saying I would abandon SCS or the truck sim franchise, but if a better game came along, I would move to that game. And we're looking forward to a train simulator in 2021. Oh, I can't remember what it's called. Something 2021. Oh. But it's supposed to be, I don't know, a better version of a train simulator. The train simulator we've been waiting for. Who knows? Who knows if it will even ever be released? Will it be good? Is it all hype? Who knows? So we'll see. At the moment, I'm playing the Train Sim World franchise. If this new one is better, off I go. I have no reason to stick with this. And the same thing applies to Truck Sim. At the moment, there's nothing better, and I really like the way SCS treats their fans. If something better comes along, that works for me. But in the meantime, it is interesting to see how SCS interacts with their fan base and how other companies don't. How they struggle with it. So it's, I don't know, man. There's always something to learn from looking at the world around you. So that's really the only news that I've got. And what else? Yeah, we've got precision farming for Farm Sim. For Farm Sim 19 on December 12th and December 16th, I think. We get MXGP 20, and that's it for the year. I don't think I know we won't be getting Iberia for this year. And, that's it. 2020's over. And who knows what 2021 holds. Not just for gaming, but a lot of stuff. Who knows. Now, I'm curious about something. We just passed that little marker over there. That little glowing marker. If I go collect that, whatever that is, does it get it off the map? Because it does. It breaks my immersion sometimes to see those. So I'm going to go, when we stop here, before we back up, I'm going to go grab that. And I'm also going to be aware that this train has doesn't have a lot of brake power. So we are on we're hauling these loaded steel cars. Turn that off, and I'm going to start braking here. So we definitely get stopped on our mark. Maybe a little early. And we will do some third person. But I try to keep it immersive. Try to keep it in cab. You know me. All right. So we'll stop here. All right. Right about here somewhere. Right. And I'm going to, before we go grab those, I'm going to set the handbrake like a good safe train operator, right? Hop up here. Let's go grab that marker and see if that gets it off the map. I really don't know if it will or not. Yeah, that... Well, but if I get rid of this... Oh, no, it leaves it there. Okay. I was curious. Turn off the HUD. Does it take the marker away? Because if it does, we'll run right past it, but... That stays there. Okay. Let's go see what this is. It's a collectible of some kind. Hopefully it's not a task, because I don't want to do anything but get this train hooked up. Alright. What do we got here? Looks like a little mortarboard cap. Alright. No. Sigh. This is... Train Sim World is... It's kind of an odd game. You get points, you get medals. I don't know what for. I don't know what you do with them. It's really, there's some parts of it that are really arbitrary and just seems sort of random, and I don't know. Why is that a thing? But you know what? We get to play with trains, and who doesn't like that? Alright, so we're going to hook up to a rake of empty steel wagons. You got it. So we'll hop back in here. Right? Have a seat. Close the door. And we want to, let's take a look here and see where we're going. We're going right up here. That's good. That's good. 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 And good. Is that right? There. 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 And there. Okay. So we'll get rid of that. Cursor forward. Take this off. All right. We'll go third person. Go down here. Right. Brakes off. Brakes off. Here we go. Something's wrong. Handbrake is released. Right? Is it our brakes? We're getting no movement here. Hang on. Reverser is set. Brakes are off. Right? There we go. All right. I don't know what the delay was there, but we're rolling. We're using the autumn mist weather right now. I've tried the autumn drizzle, but for some reason it starts to rain. Start to pick up some rain, which then turns to like ice and snow. And I find this game looks really, really bad with snow on the ground. It's like the devs just took every texture and made it white. So the trees are completely white, top to bottom, like the leaves, the branches, the trunks, everything. Just turns kind of uniform white. And it's, I don't know, I don't find it to be a very convincing winter look. So I went with autumn mist instead of autumn rain. And this works for me. It's very, it's kind of spooky. I like doing this kind of work at night. I wouldn't do it in a stream because it's awfully, awfully dark, but I do like working at night with the mist. It's very spooky. And plus, you're like the only person in the yard. You see other trains moving, but you're the only person. So it's a little bit, you know what I mean? It's got that Resident Evil feel to it. All right. We've got a pretty good frame rate, too, for being in a yard. There's not a ton of rolling stock on the tracks around us, and that I find it's not the yard itself, it's all the other locos and cars and carriages that take the frame rate down. But for now, we got pretty good frame rate, nice and smooth. And we'll hop to the other end as we get closer. And I wonder about that, because like if we go down there right now, I mean, we can see the train from this end. It's not very realistic, it's not very immersive, but if you were hooking up this train in real life, whether you were down here third person or whether you were in here first person, you'd have to have some kind of signal, right? I mean, you can't just guess where the other end of your train is. You gotta know, you gotta have some info. So if they could fog graphic trick, I don't know what that means. If they could have, I mean, because the game does have people, you see people on the platforms, just put somebody in some overalls, right? And have them stand outside your train and wave a flag or a lantern or a semaphore at you or something when you get close. All right, and after we get this all hooked up, I think we're just going to take this to the edge of the yard. And, wait, they added it to TSW 2020, and then it was included in TSW2, but I want to say this has the Journeys. Is that what it's called? Yeah, I think it's called Journeys or something, where after we get this train built, we could then... Hides bad rendering, cuts it down. Yeah, I mean, I would feel comfortable saying the entire Train Sim World franchise is just looking for ways to hide bad rendering. It's kind of a hot mess. I think it looks better than Train Sim World 2021. Not Train Sim World, Train Simulator. It looks better than Train Simulator 2021, but it's not the best built game by any means. Slow it down a little bit here. I feel like Dovetail is learning to code in Unreal, and they're doing it on our nickel. Which is not the best feeling as a consumer, you know? To feel like you're subsidizing a development studio to learn an engine, but what are you going to do? We'll see what this sim is like next year. This new one. And there's some brakes right about there. All right. Yeah, too much bounce. Too much bounce. So we'll need to creep this forward a little bit. Close that gap. That's exactly it, Jenner. All right, we just want to creep a little bit. A little bit. Yeah, you'd have a flagman for this. You would have to. I don't think there'd be any other way to do it. All right. I think that's going to be acceptable. I think. So we'll set this brake. You know what? If you want realism, try Zeusy. I talk about Zeusy. If you want realism, try Zeusy. That game is no joke. It is, I guess, as realistic a train simulator as you can get, but I really did struggle with it. Oh, look at that. I've walked 5 miles. Hell yeah. All right. And we are going right up here. Did we get close enough? Did we? I hope we did, because if not, we're going to have to walk back there and do this all again. Manual coupling. We got it. All right. Air is flowing. Beautiful. Yeah, I got kind of a love-hate relationship with Train Sim World. For me, it's the best train sim that I know of, but it's not perfect. All right, so right up here, have a seat. Close the door. Let's take a look here and see where we're going. We are going right over here, and I think that may be it. I think we may be done. We'll probably have to put up this little loco when we're done. So we go there, we go there. There, that's good. That's good. Okay, I think we're good. So we want reverse now. Right? Brakes come down. All good there. Here we go. Oh, wait a minute. Moment, please. There we go. Jenner, I always mind the hobos. That's why I give a little toot on the horn. I don't want to kill a hobo. Not on purpose. And let's say, hang on, let's reset this. There we go. Let's say after we're done here, maybe we'll hop in the Class 20 and haul some of these little... I love these little red hopper cars. I don't know what it is about them. I just find them very appealing. So we'll haul some of those little red hopper cars. And I think if we get in the Class 20, we can actually do a route even though it's technically a yard loco, I think we can haul end to end with that. Oh, look at this guy. For some reason, there's this one, and there's a Heritage Railroad in Train Sim World. Off the top of my head, I can't remember what it's called. There's a Heritage Railroad that has another little yard loco like this. Looks very similar to it. Maybe it's the Class 7? I don't know, but I think they're adorable, man. They're so tiny and, you know, they're mighty. They're very sincere about their work. I love it. All right. And I'm trying to be as smooth as possible with mouse and keyboard. That is not... Mouse and keyboard is not my weapon of choice, but what can you do? So we'll hop back in here. So if we do one route, if we go end to end in the Class 20, then I think there's one more like base loco included in this, and then I have, or is the Class 20 the extra loco? I don't know, man. When we're done here, we'll hop in something else and drive that. Mix it up a little bit. I was looking, before I started today, I was looking to see if there was a way we could do a cold and dark start. But it might have something to do with the AI. I don't know. It's difficult to do a cold and dark start in these. I prefer cold and dark in flight simulators, whether it's Microsoft Flight Sim or X-Plane. I really do prefer cold and dark. And there are some cold and dark scenarios in Train Sim World. But once you've done with the scenarios, like, as far as actual routes, right? I mean, they call it exploring, but as far as these actual routes, there really aren't any cold and dark starts. But I wouldn't mind some. And especially the American locos, because you have to like go outside and walk down the side of the thing, go into the engine compartment and prime the motor and go through all these elaborate steps. I wouldn't mind that. Yeah, frame rate is now. So when we look at these, when we look at all this stuff, other end, when we look at all this stuff around us, as far as I know, this is all live scenery. Like, we could hook up to one of these trains and move it, I think. But it's possible that it's just static scenery items, because we've got a pretty good frame rate for all those cars being there. All right. We're going to stop right down here somewhere. All right, so throttle is off. About I guess they want us sort of even with the end of the string next to us. That seems about right. There we are. Uncouple vehicles. You got it. So we'll set this brake again. All right. And they want us to uncouple here. Yep. Tees Yard West. Let's see where that is. Let's see here. Close that. Take a look. So all the way back here. Okay. Is that right? Yep. Those are all good. Okay. So release that. I think we're just going to park this up and that'll be the end of the scenario. I don't know if, yeah, when you were talking about that rendering effect, Jenner, I don't know if the way they built this in Unreal, I don't know if they even have particle effects. I really don't. Like, what we're looking at now, I don't know if that's proper fog or if it's just like a layered lighting effect. All right, then we go here and like so. Nope, not gonna give it to me. A little bit more. Okay. There we go. And now we're going back this way. Just pull right in there. Okay. So it's only that one. So 1, 2, 3. Let's do it manually. So we'll go here. Set this. Right. Down here. So this is, that's 1. This is 2. And then this is 3. Are we in the right place? Yep, I think we are. Okay. All right. Close that. Release that. All right. Brakes off. Like we do what now? Alright, so... Alright, we came forward. Wow. Alright. And then forward again. Okay. Curious. Breaks off. Here we go. And when we get to this next, because this one is sort of the same as the last one, it's just right there. I don't know if we're going to just leave it here, if we're going to park it on a siding. Unless they want us to hook up to something else. Unknown. We'll find out momentarily. All right. Tees yard stabling point. So we're going to back up. Okay. Right to there. Let's go this way. All right, so we'll get this thing parked. I think. I think we're done here. They may have something else for us. We'll find out in a minute. All right, that's us done. How'd we do? Gold medal. I love it. I don't know what it means. I don't know what you do with it, but we got a gold medal. Who doesn't like gold medals? All right, so if we go here, and we'll hop in the class 20. See if we can find something to do there. So we're going to explore timetable. Class 20. Same thing, we get livery. What do we got for livery? We got that one. Those look really different. Are you seeing any difference between those two? Unless there's a... There's a second one behind it. Okay, there's no difference in the livery itself. It's the hookup. There's two of them. Okay, let's go with the biggins. I like power. So we'll go autumn mist once again. Go right here. And let's go daylight. Loaded steel wagons, empty steel wagons. Here we go. Drive a train of loaded coke wagons to the red car ore terminal. This is 11:20, so it'll be daylight. Here we go. Oh, you know what? We wanted the class 20. Right? Not the class 37. Yeah, it says in the description class 20. So bear with me while we hang on. Bear with me while we hop back here. All right, explore, timetable, class 20. There it is. And then we also get livery here. What's the difference between these two? Same. This is the 2X. So we'll go with this one. Autumn mist. All right, let's see what we got. Let's go daylight. Empty steel wagons. I think these are the same. Yeah, this is exactly the same. Drive a train of loaded coke wagons to red car ore terminal. Red car? Red core. Drive a train of loaded coke wagons to red car ore terminal. 11:20. Yeah, same service, different locos. No worries. I want to say the class 20 is the DLC loco, and the class 37 is the one that's included with it. Okay. Yep. That's it. All right, so let's get set up here. So we'll go instrument lights, headlights. Let's turn some heat on. Cab heater is on. Cab heater is on. Do we need a key? I want to say we do. Do we? Yeah, we need it. There's a key that fits in here somewhere. Might have to stand up to do it. Yeah, I feel like there's a keyway. Ah, there it is. There it is. All right, so we need to put that in. Now we can have a seat. And forward. What else do we need before we get started here? What are we forgetting? Safety systems. That's on. Lights. Those are on. Tail lights. Not worried about that. Top marker. Lower center marker. Lower center marker on. Instrument lights on. Cab light off. Take a look outside. What do we have on for lights on this here rig? Yeah, I think that's what we're supposed to run. All right, instrument lights are on. Safety systems on. Hot plate is on. Make yourselves a little bit of tea there. I think we're good. All right. Brakes off. Brakes off. And what's our speed limit here? Gonna take a look before we get started. We're at 15. Okay. Brake pressure's coming down. We were moving. There we go. We got wheel slip, but there's hardly any power at all applied. But we are rolling. Okay. And these are, yeah, the hoppers are loaded, and this is technically a yard loco, so I guess that would make sense. We might take a little while to get going. All right, but we're rolling. Speed is 10. So let's keep it around 10 to 12 till we get to this next speed limit of 20. Okay. And I don't know the UK signaling system at all. I barely know the German one, but I'm learning it. I haven't really spent any time learning the UK system. I know these are really, really, they're all different, and they're all very cryptic. Now, I was under the impression that if you were a train operator, train driver in any country, that you, like, essentially you learned the code, and then you could operate any train on any route in that country because, right, you knew the code. But that's not the case. Apparently, train drivers do learn one route, right? As far as like braking points, particularly a passenger line, you've got to learn where the brake points are for all your different stops. And if we were to go, you know, no HUD whatsoever, there are indicators for speed limit and various other signals trackside, but unless you're really like absolutely laser focused on those, they just come and go so quickly. So I do think you need to more or less learn a route, but of course I've bought every single DLC for Trade Sim World and I've learned some of the routes fairly well, but none of them well enough to run no HUD. So in the meantime, just try to learn them a little bit at a time. And I think, yeah, I'm just gonna confirm we're still in a, yeah, still in a 15, and we're going about just about 10. So we can bump it up a bit. Oh, look at that. I didn't know it did that. We get the little glow under our hot plate. Well, you know, if they're going to put that in the game, they really do need to give you a tea kettle to put on there. You can't, right? You can't just have a glowing red stove. I mean, it might heat the cab up a little bit, but... Right, and something I did not look at was as far as how our switches are set as we're on our way here. Yeah, we look pretty good. All right, and we'll go third person right up here. There we are. Yeah, you got to admit, I mean, it's not the worst looking sim I've ever played. And it does have its little quirks, eccentricities, but for the most part, I'm pretty happy with it. Now we know where the global warming comes from this train, or from all this, well, we're not hauling coal, we're hauling coke. We're hauling coke to a steel mill. So, I mean, maybe. Yeah, if we were hauling coal, if we were on the, oh, the heater. I mean, I thought I turned it off. There we go. I mean, maybe that's the tipping point. Maybe that's what's making the difference. Keep an eye on our speed here. We're going just a bit fast. There goes our gold medal. We were supposed to keep it under 15. We're just a bit over 20. We'll see. They may give it to us. And again, as far as the medals and the XP, I don't know what you're supposed to do with it. And that thing takes a long time to cool down. Ah. No, that's off. That's definitely off. All right. Would not surprise me if Train Sim World 2 had a bugged out hot plate. You know what I mean? Because the whole game is like chock full of bugs. All right. There's our 20 mile per hour speed limit. I saw no sign for it at all, other than, you know, maybe we're back on the main line, right? We just came from like a yard siding back onto the main line. So that's the kind of stuff that I really do think that as a train operator, you have to kind of memorize the route. As far as I know, there's no signage for that whatsoever. And then these two white lights down here, that's actually a yellow signal, right? So there's a lot of different ways signs can be displayed. Just trying to learn it all. I think I'd like to focus on the German routes first. I find those to be more fun, and the safety systems are a lot more demanding. The PZB, LZB versus the UK system, which is almost like an honor system. Nothing bad happens to you if you don't acknowledge some of the safety stuff. All right, so that is, now that says 20 right there, but it's for the other track to the left. All right, now we're going over here, and again, so we're counting down 50 yards, 40, 30. There's no signage here, but because we've passed on to this other track, this is now a 60 mile per hour track. If you didn't know that, I don't know how you were like supposed to know that. So this is 60. Once the end of the train passes onto it, yeah, then we can bump up to 60. Well, 45, because we're coming into a 45 here. Now, for this one, I think we will get a sign. I don't know. Yeah, so that's a 45. And the whole train is on this track. Yeah, whole train is on this track, so we can bump it up to 45 now. Here we go. And then we'll be at 25 in about half a mile. So maybe we won't go all the way to... Maybe we won't go all the way to 45. I can definitely understand why Dovetail has not made high-speed rail, or has not made much. I know we've got the Cologne DLC, and we've got now the Munich DLC. It's like people say they want high-speed rail, they want TGV and Japanese high-speed rail, but if I understand it correctly, those trains go so fast and they're sort of hands-off for the operators. There's really not a lot to do, and the routes would need to be extremely long if you wanted to have a 30 or 45 minute session. But I find these sort of slower routes and the yard work, I'm finding this to be a lot more enjoyable than I thought it would be. Because I know when I first got, well, the first train sim that I ever got was CSX Heavy Haul, which was sort of the first iteration of TSW 2020. And I have to say, driving from one end of that route to the other, there's really, you don't really do a whole lot. You know, it is sort of hands off. You got to mind the brakes a little bit on the descent, but other than that, there's really not a lot to do. So something like this, where we're monitoring our speed, being much more careful of it, and we've got some humps to go over as we get closer to the terminal down here. I do find this to be, I don't know, just more hands-on. There's more to do. So this route and the Canadian National both have passenger platforms. Oh no, I take that back. Tees Valley does have passenger service. There are a couple passenger locos. But Canadian National is the one that has platforms. It's got passenger platforms, but no passenger trains. And I'm curious if they're going to add those later. That's something we get later on. Now, I don't want to go 25 the entire route just to be safe, but I do think I think we're 25 right now. Yeah, this is 25. Okay. And then right down here, so that says 30, and then right after it says 35. So once the end of the train clears that, we'll be at 35, and then when the train clears into that 60 zone, yeah. All right. So we can go, we want to be sort of sneaky. We can go back here. Yeah, we're in the 35. So we can bump this up a little bit. And those little, I don't know, those little yellow painted, they look like little boxes. between the tracks. I think those are the triggers for the safety system, but nothing happens even though we have it turned on. That's okay, so that's 60. So once we clear that, we can go 60. All right, go 60. Here we go. All right. I've also been looking for whistle placards. I've seen a couple for other tracks, like tracks other than the ones that we're on, but I haven't seen any for us specifically. I'm not saying they weren't there, I'm just saying I haven't seen them. And for those, like for the ranking, the XP and the gold medals and stuff, I don't know if that counts against you. I don't know if not sounding your whistle when you're supposed to prevents you from getting a gold medal. I don't even know what the gold medals do, man. What do you do with those? Where do those go? And we may actually like make it to 45 miles per hour by the time we get to the 45 mile per hour zone, but maybe not. I don't think this straight makes a lot of power because we're really struggling. We're barely at 40 now. Oh, and our hot plate eventually our hot plate cooled down. Yeah, I feel like those little boxes there, I think on some UK routes they trigger like a warning bell. But I think it's just a reminder. Like if you don't acknowledge it, nothing happens. So it really sort of is the honor system. Alright, and we are getting to the steelworks. Yeah, you can see all these industrial structures down here. Hey Foxy, how you doing? Alright, and we've got about half a mile to that 45 zone. I'm going to back the power down a little bit. I don't think we're going to break 45 at all, but I'm curious what speed limit is beyond that. So it could be that right after that 45 is like a 25 or something. Good, good. I'm glad to hear it. I am really, really good. I'm having a fantastic Monday. Here with y'all, driving a train. Couldn't be better. All right, let's see what mayhem is about to occur. So that says that's 45. All right, still good. Class 20. Yeah, you like this one? Oh, right on. Oh, very cool. Yeah, this is a It is an add-on. Yeah, it's a DLC. I thought it was. We've got a 60 coming up, but again, this thing, it doesn't have a lot of pickup. And I don't know what's going to happen afterwards, because I feel like we are... Yeah, so we're going down to 40 next. Because we're not quite at the end of the line, but we're getting close. So we can just coast down to 40, and I'm pretty sure as we get into the yard, it's going to drop down to like 25. So we'll be ready for that. Maybe just a little bit of brakes. There we go. Hey, no worries, Foxy. Thanks for stopping in. I appreciate it. So we're going to be good when we get into this 40, and then let's see what comes beyond that, because we only, got about a mile to go. I'm going to start slowing down. So there's 40. Oi. 10. Okay. Yeah. I don't know. Rain in this game is, I don't know. I think the mist looks better than the rain. And if it does, when I try to make it rain in the autumn, it ends up sticking like snow. And then everything just goes to pieces. So we just went with mist. All right, so we're coming down. We're below 20, and we've got a quarter mile to get it down to 10. I think we're headed slightly downhill because we just crossed over that other track. So let's get the brakes on here and get it slowed down. Right. So we're okay for this 10 mile per hour zone. Yeah, I think they've got a long way to go on the weather for Train Sim World. Alright, so here's our, yep, that's our 10 right there. And we've got, say about 800 yards to go. We can hop out here and take a look at this. Switches are good. Yep. Yep, going right there. Okay. So I think we're going to make almost like a 180-degree turn. Over and around. Yep. Yeah, draw distance is it's I hope they continue to improve the game. I'm curious uh I don't know what the level of proficiency that Dovetail has with Unreal at the moment is, or what it's going to be. You know, I don't know how good they're going to get coding for Unreal, or if Unreal was even the best choice for this. I mean, I don't know what would have been a better choice. I've heard people say Unity, maybe. I don't know. But for weather and physics and all the other things that they want to try to do, who knows? Yeah, I know. I know the Train Simulator franchise is on sale right now till tomorrow for Black Friday, and I've thought about getting it with a ton of DLC, but the I know the game is a lot more. In some ways, it's a lot more playable because it does have more DLC, and a lot of the features in the trains are better developed, like the safety systems on the German trains and signage, and the routes have less bugs. You know, it's more accurate, I guess, more realistic. But the way that it looks and the really flat, I mean, they're not 2D consoles, right? Like what we're looking at now is definitely 3D, and in Train Simulator, that's 3D as well. But yeah, exactly. The graphics in Train Simulator I find to be a little bit distracting. They're not they're not bad. They're just not as good, and the cabs don't look nearly as good. So I don't know. All right, Foxy. Thanks for stopping by. Take care. I really didn't buy anything for Black Friday. It was I don't want to say disappointing. I don't want to say frustrating. You know, it's always good to save money, but it was it was just kind of strange that like everything was on sale, and I really didn't need anything. I really didn't need any titles. I even looked around and tried to like make up titles that I could buy. Like, I don't really need this, and I'm probably not going to play it, but I should get it anyway. It's on sale. And I couldn't even really come up with anything like that. So, yeah, Black Friday came and went. I didn't buy anything. Sigh. All right, let's get slowed down here. And where are we at? We're at coming up on an hour and a half. There's 3 people here. One of them is me. I don't know. You want to call it? I mean, I love driving trains. I really do. But I want to stream things that y'all want to watch, you know, and that are going to work for you. So we got to test these. You know, we've been testing X-Plade, been testing Flight Sim, drive some trains. I want to race too. I want to see what you think of watching a race. First person. So yeah, maybe we'll call it here because we did the class 8, class 08, and we did the class 20, and that's what it says in the thumbnail. So my conscience is clear. Let's stop right up here, just a little further. There we go. I don't think we're going to get a gold medal for this because we were speeding a little bit when we left the other yard. Just for a minute, we were over the 15-mile-an-hour limit. All right. That's it. Yeah, gold medals. Right here. This is when we went up to 20 rather than being at 15. And that was really the only time we were speeding the entire route. Other than that, we were pretty good. I don't know. I don't even know what these mean. I really don't. All right. What do you think? I got one lurker. One lurker. What else we got? We got a passenger service here. I believe this is a passenger service as well. Is it not? I don't know if we necessarily want to do a passenger service. Autumn Mist. Let me take a look. Drop off the loaded wagons. Now this is freight as well. Let's go daylight. This looks like it's going to be pretty long because we're going to drop off the loaded wagons, collect empties, and run them back to Eastgate. I'd say at least 30 minutes for that. And we're at a little over an hour right now. Nah, let's just call it. Let's just call it. No need to force it. Local haul passenger service. Yeah, we'll call it. All right. No, don't want to exit the game. Not yet. I need a menu. I need something to look at. Here we go. Let's try this. There we go. All right. Thanks, everybody. We'll do FS19 tomorrow. And then Wednesday, maybe X-Plane. Maybe, I don't know, something else. But we'll definitely do FS19 tomorrow. Right on. Thanks for stopping by. I appreciate you. See you next time. Take care.